Alright, what's going on? So today I'm going to be getting into another form of entertainment. I want to try and branch out and do some other videos. Even if they don't get that many views, I still just enjoy it. I like entertainment. I like a lot of different stuff. Mostly I've been reacting to music, but I want to get into some comedy, maybe some serious things. I want to get into maybe doing some movie I don't know. Whatever piques my interest, I'm going to jump into it. So today I'm going to be doing Tom Segura Overdoses. This is not happening. This is the uncensored version. Don't know what that means. Don't know what uncensored means. It might be both in for a surprise. But we're going to get right into this. So I have heard Tom Segura's stand-up before. I don't know if I've ever heard this one or not. So this is basically going to be a blind react. I'm going to just be cautioned. I might have heard it, but this does not ring any bells to me. I'm not sure if I've heard it or not. I've obviously not heard all of his stuff. I've seen a few of his stand-up specials, though. But get right into it.
This woman goes, "Hey Tom, you are in the emergency room and you overdosed." And they're like, "What did you take?" So I write, "Heroin." And they go, "Are you serious?" And I write, "JK."
Interesting opening. We got like an opening to this clip. I think this is because it's actually off of his page.
So this is what we do. We're a bunch of comedians tell stories about a similar subject.
Okay, so this is like off a show
Give it
or
up for my
something?
friend yours, Mr. Tom Segura, everybody. Let him hear it.
This is definitely older. He's like got some hair on him still like on his head. Ari Shaffir, is that the guy that Joe Rogan always brings up? I think they talk about him. I've never actually seen him actually do comedy, I don't think. Maybe I'll have to do a reaction to him too. I know I like watching Joe Rogan's podcast, and they do, I think he brings him up a lot when he's talking to like his comedian friends. So, interesting. I guess he does a show where he hosts this, whatever this is.
Let's go back to 1997. Holy shit. And
that was the year I was born.
That time flies. And I'm a freshman in college. And Thanksgiving, remember Thanksgiving, everybody? That's the first time that you go usually back home. That's your first break in your freshman year. And it's a big deal because it's also like a mini class reunion, right? It's the first time you see everybody.
Well, I don't really relate to any of this because I didn't go to college. I'm not going to keep stopping it because that kind of ruins like the setup of the jokes and the punchlines, but you get my point. I'll just keep going. I won't do that.
You're back your first few months.
Hopefully it doesn't get, the video doesn't get blocked out.
The next day, the day after Thanksgiving, everybody gets together and parties their fucking balls off while acting like they're a new person, right? So I start off, I find one of the guys that didn't go to school, and he's like, "I'm the new drug supplier." And I'm like, "I remember you from math." And he asked me what I want, and I'm like, "What do you got?" And he goes, "I have ecstasy." And I go, "Yeah." Everyone says, "That's fun, let's try it." And I start taking it, and I forgot to mention, before I went to college, senior year, I got really into a drug that was making its way, especially through the South, through Florida, called GHB. And I'm sure, I don't know if you know what it is. It's a gamma hydroxybutyric acid. Your body naturally produces it. Sometimes there's some places where they regulate it as an anesthetic, but basically when you get it, somebody made it in a bathtub, and that's the good stuff. All right. And they sell it to you. And they get it in a water bottle. They also.
So, I'm gonna have to pause it every once in a while, or else this video is definitely gonna get blocked. But I love Tom's like real dry humor. The way he says things and has like a dead expression on his face. It's absolutely hysterical. If I were to ever be able to do comedy, I wish I could do it like him, because like the way he portrays himself is like so serious yet so sarcastic at the same time. It's so funny.
I also call it the date rape drug. I didn't do that. I gave it to myself all the time. and it does have an amazing effect on sex. On masturbating, let's be honest. On masturbating. I really had some crazy masturbation seminars as a senior, and then I passed out, and I'm like, who jerked me off? Oh yeah, it was me. Okay.
Date raped himself.
Anyways, okay,
that's
so I
horrible.
get the ecstasy into my system, and then I take it. I'd never taken it, so as soon as I take it, I go like, hey man, fucking, I don't feel anything. He's like, you just took it, man. Like, give it a minute, all right? All right. So I'm hanging out at this party. We're at a party, everyone's together, and then we're gonna go to a bar. And at the end of the house party, on the way to the bar, I go, hey man, I don't feel anything. So he goes, all right, when we get to the bar, come find me, and I have GHB. So I'm like, okay. So I find him, and he's like, all right, let's go to the car. And that's always the big move when you go to the car, right? You're like, this is where dreams come true, in the car. A drug dealer's car is where it all lives. So I'm expecting what I know, which is a water bottle, and then a dose is the cap. So all you do is you pour the water into the cap and you drink it like that. It tastes like ocean water, like seawater, right? Salt water. And then it's immediate. GHB, if it's good stuff, it's like, we used to call it permagrin, because you just be like, and if someone's like, fuck you, you're like, So I'm like, all right, where is it? And he goes, it's right there. And he has a gallon jug, right? And I'm like, wow, that's not a water bottle? He's like, yeah, I haven't even put it into the water bottles yet. That's the full thing. And it's a full gallon. Now, if you think about a full gallon, you know that A, the cap is much different. It's flatter. You're not going to sample. And it's also heavier. So I don't know how to pour it. So he's like, just take a shot. And I'm like, all right. So I put it up. And then I go, in my mind, oh, shit. I have like 9 shots in my mouth right now. So the options are, do I spit it back into the main jug, which I feel like he's going to be like, not cool with that, you know, being that he's a drug dealer and all. The other thing would be spit it out on the ground, and I don't want to be rude, right? So I just go like, and I'm like, holy fucking shit. I have taken way too much GHB. Now, I'm leaving out the point that you're not supposed to mix GHB and alcohol. It is potentially fatal. You may have.
You're not supposed to mix really any drugs with alcohol.
At this point, I am on 13 or 14 drinks, right? Like, and it's liquor, like, you know, vodka drinks, and I'm just pounding them. I get the 9 shots into me, and then I walk back into the bar, and I'm like, what's up, everybody? Like, I'm fucking. They're like, where does all this personality come from? This is natural, man.
I gotta say that when you have that many drinks in you too, a lot of your decision making isn't the best. That could be another reason why you decided to maybe not spit it out and was like, fuck it. Just, that's so funny. That's not the kind of thing that you want to have a fucking attitude about either.
So, and then I sat down. I remember sitting down, and the girlfriend came and she sat on my lap, and then lights out. Like, I just don't remember anything. Like, I went to sleep. All I remember is that I wake up and I'm looking at lights on a ceiling, right? I'm just like, oh shit. Is this heaven? And then I see a woman come into frame, right? Because I'm laying on my back. I can't talk.
Saying it like it's a movie.
And this woman goes, hey Tom, you are in the emergency room and you overdosed on drugs and now you're coming out of a coma. And I'm just like, like processing it, but the process literally was just eyes closed, like, oh shit. And my only thought was like, I hope nobody knows. That's the only thing I'm thinking. I hope nobody knows. And then I open my eyes again, and my parents come into frame. And then I'm like, everybody knows. And they look so just like, we thought you were a good kid. What the fuck? So I'd never been in trouble. I can't, they won't let your arm out because I pull out the tubes. I have a tube for breathing. I have another tube that's pumping liquid charcoal into my stomach because that makes the chemicals and the drugs like come together, and then you also can't digest it, so you vomit, which is what they want you to do. So as I'm like, I'm also like, I'm throwing up, right? So they give me a piece of paper and a pen that I can't really write normally because I'm strapped down, but I can kind of chicken scratch. And they're like, what did you take? Because they're trying to figure, they don't even know what I took. So I write, heroin. And they go, are you serious? And I write, JK. Right?
He would be the one in that serious moment to still be cracking jokes. It's so funny because I feel like that's what I would do in that type of moment too. It's like, what else can you do? Like, you're already in the fucking hole. Everyone's already gonna be pissed at you. You're in a shit situation. What kind of joke hurt? You know? That's so funny.
They're not like, good one. They're like, what the fuck are you joking? So then the kid in me, I'm looking at my parents and I'm like so worried about them. I write on the paper, I go, are you mad at me? And my parents, at that moment, my dad reads it and he goes, no, buddy, just disappointed. And I'm like, can you save that for when I'm breathing on my own? Like, so.
Oh God,
Mercer,
I'm just disappointed move.
In the ICU, a doctor comes in who I hadn't seen yet, and I'm later told, this is a doctor. They tell me this is a doctor that saved your life. So I'm sitting there in the bed, and he comes in and he goes, are you in a band? And I was like, what, man? What? And he goes, are you in a band? And I was like, no, I'm not in a fucking band. And he goes, well, you had enough in you to take down 2 drum players and a bass player, man. And I'm like, you now with the fucking jokes, really? And I go, well, he goes, what did you take? And I go, I had, I don't know, I took a couple pills. I told him honestly, I had some drinks. And I took, you know, some GHB, probably enough for like a lot of people. And he goes, what about the heroin? And I go, no, I was just joking. And he goes, no, you have heroin in your system. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, you have heroin, you have cocaine, you have PCP. He's like, you also have the same chemicals that are in like cleaners, like some of the super duty cleaners. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? And he goes, where'd you get your GHB from? And I go, one of my buddies from high school. He's like, oh, he's a good friend. He gave you some fucking WD-40 to put in your system. So
Yeah, that's the real thing though. Is like you're getting like drugs like that from like random people. You don't know what you're actually getting. You're just taking some dude's word for it that they gave you what they're giving you. You gotta be able to really trust someone if you're taking drugs from someone. That's why I don't do it. It's not worth the risk. You never know. Like, it could be anything, especially stuff like that. Like, if you're not an expert in that, like, how can you possibly know what's in it? I don't even know what any of that stuff looks like. I would never take it from a random person.
I, you know, eventually get to breathe on my own and all this shit. And then he comes back, and they're like, you know, the nurse tells me, the doctor that saved you wants to talk to you. And I'm like, all right. And I asked him, like, how did I survive? And he was like, honestly, because you're fat. Like, you're pretty fat. And I was like, what, man? And he goes, I mean, a smaller person would definitely, like a 120-pound person would die halfway through this. This is just one of the only times where it's good to be fat, right now. And that's, yeah.
I love the dry humor that he has, like the way he just executes on that joke and the way he's just like putting it out there like, yeah, it's just because you're fat. And it's like, it's so funny the way he does this. And it's like, I don't see a lot of comedians able to pull it off the way he does because he's so dull and dry, but it works in his favor.
That's why I still haven't lost the weight, you guys.
No. I was like, the best part is when he called you fat. Tom Segura, everybody. Keep it going for Tom Segura.
Alright, that was a funny one. I really enjoy that. I don't remember seeing that one from Tom Segura, so I guess I can definitely say this was a first react for this, because I guess that was an older one. But yeah, that was Tom Segura Overdoses. I don't know, this is not happening. I'm guessing, is that that looks like that's what the show is. Oh, it looks like it was a show on Comedy Central. I don't know, never seen it. But yeah, so thanks for watching this. Let me know if there's any other good comedians, any specific bits that they have that you think I should check out. I'm going to try doing some different types of entertainment. If you have anything, just let me know. I'm going to start exploring, doing some different stuff. If it doesn't get a whole lot of views, it's whatever. I like doing this. It's fun for me to do anyways, so if you enjoy it, cool. If not, just watch along. But if you like the video, please hit the like button, and if you like all the other videos that I do as well, or you want me to put out more like this, then hit the subscribe button and follow along. But thanks for watching.